Hello and welcome to my review of The Flash, the pilot episode. My name's David, and I'm going to try to give you the good, the bad, and the ugly of this show and our overall view of how we found it. So let's start off with the plot. What's nice about this show is they introduced this character into season 2 of the show The Arrow, where Barry Allen worked with Team Arrow and got to show off his mental skills. It was a nice introduction to his character, and at the time, I questioned his casting because he seemed too young to be Barry Allen that I remembered from the comics, and he wasn't really as hip as the Wally West that I remembered from the Justice League. But as the episode continued, he seemed to capture the role, and he grew on me more and more. So the pilot starts out, he goes back to his city after working with Team Arrow, and we see him do his version of Sherlock, which was really interesting as we were able to see through his eyes what he saw. Next, we were introduced to the particle accelerator from Star Labs, which was supposed to open a gateway to a whole new age of knowledge, but instead caused a freak accident, a bolt of lightning, which happened to find Barry and hit him. And instead of killing Barry, it leaves him unconscious for 9 months before he wakes up. Things are normal at first, but of course he discovers his body's different, then he discovers his perceptions as well as his abilities are different. Then we discover what he can and can't do. The second half of the episode is dedicated towards fighting the villain of the week. What I liked about this episode was, first of all, the tone. Not everything has to be the Dark Knight. Arrow Season 1 and 2 suffer from the Christopher Nolan effect, where everything is deep and dark and brooding. The motivations of the main character are confusing. Is he a hero? Is he a vigilante? In The Flash, we know right away he's a hero. He embraces his power. He knows what's right and wrong. So right off the bat, we know it's different from Arrow. I like the casting of Detective West and his interaction with Barry. They seem to have a genuine chemistry and a father-son interaction. I like Team Flash. Cisco, Dr. Caitlin Snow, we had already seen on Arrow last season, but it's nice to see them on their own show. And they're joined by Dr. Harrison Wells, the scientist who fell out of favor thanks to that particle accelerator. They all seem to be well acted, well written, as well as given the right amount of character act that will hint in things later. Another thing I liked about were the Easter eggs that they had placed in the show. If you watched Gotham, the first episode, it was just jam-packed with Easter eggs. Hit you over the head with them. I like that sometimes there was just 1 or 2 shots of something and allowed you to think and get excited about it for future episodes. What I disliked about this episode was the casting of Iris. I don't know who this actress is. I've never seen her in anything else. But she smiles at the wrong time, and I don't know if it's her acting or if it's the casting or the writing or something. Something needs to be done about this role, because every time she would show up on camera, she would draw me out of the episode. She was portrayed as being so dizzy, and yet she's supposed to be intelligent, a PhD student. When there was a portion of the plot where a man stole her laptop, she shouts out, "My dissertation's on that laptop." Are you kidding? Dissertation? Everyone in the room who was watching laughed out loud. Another thing I disliked is this whole DC cinematic universe thing. The head of DC has said that the shows and the movies are in separate universes. So unlike Marvel, something that happens on the show like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. affects the movies, and the movies affect the TVs. These shows, like the Arrow, Flash, have no bearing on the upcoming Batman-Superman movie. And it doesn't have anything to do with the Justice League. So is this a gigantic waste of time? What I'm on the fence about was the seemingly huge plot hole. So someone from Barry Allen's future comes back through time to kill his mother. Why not just kill Barry Allen? If you're going to go through the trouble of going all the way back in time, why not just do the deed? Secondly, why would the cops pin the murder of the mother on the father? They seem to have a pretty good relationship. Is this the shades of The Fugitive? The last thing I'm on the fence about is the suit. It looks cool, and thank God the actor they cast is super thin. But you know how red puts weight on everything? And who wants to see a fat Flash? Overall, I liked the episode. I liked the plot. I liked the casting of Barry Allen, the casting of Detective West. What I didn't like were Iris and the DCU. But it shows a lot of promise. And so we'll be reviewing the next episode next week. In the meantime, do you think I missed something? Do you agree? Let me know in the comments. And please click to subscribe.